Airbus CEO Guillaume Faury's emotional address sends shockwaves through the aviation industry. Airbus, one of the world's leading aircraft manufacturers, has long been regarded for its operational efficiency, resilience, and ambitious targets. However, the company has found itself at the center of an aviation crisis as it struggles to meet its annual delivery goals. With global supply chain disruptions, component shortages, and production delays causing widespread turmoil, Airbus CEO Guillaume Faury recently addressed the industry in an emotional speech that highlighted the company's mounting challenges. His candid admissions have sent ripples through the aviation sector, prompting questions about how Airbus plans to recover and what this means for the broader industry. A rocky start to 2024. At the beginning of 2024, Airbus set a delivery target of 770 aircraft, a revision from its original goal of 800. The objective was to strengthen its competitive edge over Boeing and meet surging demand for fuel-efficient models such as the A320neo and the A321XLR. Airlines worldwide were eager to modernize their fleets as post-pandemic air travel rebounded, and Airbus saw a golden opportunity to cement its position as the dominant manufacturer. However, early warning signs of trouble emerged. By mid-2024, the company had to issue a cautionary statement to investors, acknowledging that severe supply chain disruptions could jeopardize its ability to meet delivery targets. This announcement led to a sharp decline in Airbus's stock value, wiping out 12% of its market capitalization. The industry took note, and speculation grew about whether Airbus could recover in time to salvage its annual performance. Understanding the root of the crisis. Several factors have contributed to Airbus's current predicament. The most significant issues include supply chain bottlenecks, labor shortages, rising raw material costs, and logistical setbacks, component shortages. Airbus depends on a vast network of suppliers for essential components, including engines, avionics, and landing gear. However, in 2024, many of these suppliers struggled to keep up with demand. Companies like Pratt & Whitney and Safran faced severe production delays. Pratt & Whitney, in particular, encountered significant problems with its geared turbofan engines, requiring extensive inspections due to premature wear and tear. This single issue alone delayed hundreds of engine deliveries, creating a ripple effect that slowed Airbus's entire assembly process. Labor shortages. The aviation industry has faced a labor crunch since the pandemic. Airbus struggled to secure enough skilled workers to meet its production demands, with shortages seen in both assembly line personnel and high-skilled engineering roles. Many skilled workers left the industry during the pandemic, and training new employees has taken longer than anticipated, rising costs and logistical bottlenecks. Inflation and geopolitical tensions contributed to rising costs of raw materials such as aluminum, titanium, and composite materials essential for aircraft manufacturing. Additionally, global shipping delays exacerbated the situation. Airbus's key production sites in Toulouse, France, and Hamburg, Germany, were often left waiting for critical parts, disrupting planned schedules. Over-reliance on hockey stick deliveries. Airbus has historically relied on a hockey stick approach, where production ramps up significantly in the final months of the year to meet annual delivery goals. However, the severity of the 2024 supply chain crisis meant that this strategy was no longer viable. Production backlogs were too extensive, and last-minute acceleration proved impossible. A pattern of challenges. This is not the first time Airbus has encountered delivery issues. In 2023, the company delivered 735 aircraft, falling short of its revised target of 770. That year also saw production constraints and supply chain difficulties, but the severity of 2024's crisis has been unprecedented. Could these disruptions have been anticipated and mitigated? Some industry analysts argue that Airbus failed to fully recognize the fragility of its supply chain. The company's reliance on a small group of key suppliers left it vulnerable when those suppliers faced their own disruptions. Companies like Safran, which provides landing gear, and Honeywell, responsible for avionics, struggled to meet Airbus's demands due to their own logistical issues and workforce shortages. Airbus's emergency response. Recognizing the urgency of the situation, Airbus initiated several crisis management measures, supplier intervention teams, Airbus deployed teams to supplier facilities to work directly with partners in addressing production bottlenecks, internal war rooms. The company established real-time monitoring centers to track supply shortages and allocate resources to the most critical aircraft model. Production reallocation. Airbus prioritized high-demand aircraft, such as the A320neo, while pushing back less time-sensitive projects, alternative sourcing. The company explored diversifying its supplier base to avoid overdependence on a small group of manufacturers. Despite these efforts, Airbus was unable to meet its projected targets, leading to frustration among airlines that had counted on new aircraft deliveries. Many carriers were forced to extend the use of aging planes or lease additional aircraft, leading to higher operational costs. Faury's emotional public address. In response to the escalating crisis, CEO Guillaume Faury delivered an emotional address to investors, customers, and industry stakeholders. In his speech, Faury acknowledged the gravity of the situation, stating, "We understand the trust our customers place in us, and we deeply regret that we have not been able to deliver as expected. This year has been one of the most challenging in Airbus's history, and we are working relentlessly to overcome these hurdles." His speech was notable for its raw honesty, something rarely seen from a CEO of a major aerospace company. Faury's address underscored the human cost of the crisis, with thousands of workers under intense pressure and airline partners struggling with delays. He went on to outline Airbus's commitment to improving transparency, strengthening supplier relationships, and ensuring that such disruptions do not happen again. Airbus's path to recovery. In light of these challenges, Airbus has laid out a roadmap to stabilize production and restore confidence in its supply chain, supplier diversification. Airbus is actively seeking alternative suppliers to reduce dependence on single-source providers, improved communication. The company is enhancing coordination with suppliers to mitigate disruptions before they escalate, investment in predictive analytics. Airbus is leveraging data analytics to forecast supply chain risks and act. Proactively strengthened workforce training. Recognizing the labor shortage, Airbus is investing in workforce development programs to train and retain skilled workers, production strategy adjustments. The company is moving away from the hockey stick model and adopting a more balanced production flow throughout the year. Industry-wide consequences. Airbus's struggles have sent shockwaves through the aviation industry. Airlines that rely on timely aircraft deliveries are now grappling with unexpected delays, forcing them to adjust fleet expansion plans. Some carriers have even reconsidered their future orders, fearing continued instability in the supply chain. Meanwhile, Boeing, Airbus's largest competitor, is closely monitoring the situation. While Boeing could potentially gain market share, it too faces its own supply chain and production challenges, limiting its ability to fully capitalize on Airbus's setbacks. The crisis has also raised broader concerns about the aviation industry's reliance on just-in-time manufacturing, a strategy that maximizes efficiency but leaves little room for error during global disruptions. The supply chain issues affecting Airbus may prompt manufacturers to rethink their production strategies moving forward. Final thoughts. Airbus's struggles in 2024 serve as a stark reminder of the complexities involved in modern aircraft manufacturing. The crisis has exposed vulnerabilities in global supply chains and challenged the industry's long-held assumptions about production efficiency. CEO Guillaume Faury's emotional address marked a turning point, signaling that Airbus is taking these challenges seriously